All right, hello, crafty friends. This is going to be the first of our monthly card club cards, and we're creating something with the Merriest trees, which has a little bit different twist of your traditional Christmas colors. All right, so let's start by just taking some of this designer series paper called Thoughtful Journey. Now, if you look at Thoughtful Journey, it's more of like a desert kind of environment, but you can use these pieces of paper for many Christmas cards as well. So we're going to use this one this month, but because I gave you 12 sheets and no two sheets are alike, then we're not going to ever come up with the same two cards twice. So we'll do our best to come up with the similar cards, right? But they're all the pieces of paper are different. So what I'll do is I'll just open a package of what I sent you so that you can see. Okay? So let's start out with that. And if you join my club, which is, it's too late to join this month's club, but if you did join, this is the kind of things you get. You get always some designer series paper like this and some specialty papers, enough to make 8 cards. And then you get the different die cut pieces that you're going to need for your cards. So that's what we're going to be using. Boho blue. Well, actually, we'll be using Lost Lagoon today. So you get all the die cut pieces. And then you always get a different color scheme as well. So 2 more cards. So you'll get 8, like I said, 8 cards, 2 of each. And we're going to get this one, Iconic Celebrations. I'm not going to have any 2 cards that are the same for this either, but I'll give you a peek at where I'm going with those. And then some of you haven't had this mailed out to you yet because I am including new product this month in your Card on Blue Card Club kit. So please be patient if you didn't get it, but it'll be worth the wait because look, you get something that is no longer available at the store because I did get it right on the first day. Okay, so this is cool. You're going to get a sheet of this ephemera. You're not all getting the same one. You can't get a whole pack because I didn't get that much. You're only going to get a sheet of it. It's called Joyful Images Ephemera Pack. Not that it's never available, but it's not available right now. It will be back in stock at some point. And then you get the gold dip card. You get this other card, and then you get the gold dip card. So that way you have a couple other card designs to use with this month's Card on Blue Card Club. And then you get, of course, let's see, some treats and some embellishments. Now, a couple of you didn't get the peppermints, but only because they ran out of peppermints, but it's okay. I have a spreadsheet, and everything that is not in your kit right now, you're going to get later, so don't worry. I keep track. I'm still sending out like a few little things that came in from the Scan and Cut retreat a while back. So you're going to get it. Anyway, this little paper is retired. It's in your kit, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut an inch of each off because I'm not sure. I'm just going to cut an inch strip if I'm going to use the gold, the Fresh Freesia, or the Lost Lagoon. I did use the different ones for different cards. So you have 6-inch pieces of that. So we'll just cut a little bit of this off. And then I'll get my Thoughtful Journey paper. Open up a new little... Well, I won't know if I have to open that. Let's get Fresh Freesia. I've already forget the name of this paper. To pull out my... To pull this out again. It's called a fine shimmer paper. Okay, so fine shimmer paper. So those of you watching, I see someone watching from... Let's see, where does it say? New South Wales, Australia. Thank you. Awesome. I mean, you can follow along with whichever supplies you have. You can use our glitter paper if you don't have the shimmer paper, or if you can't get it. It's all good. Use the materials available to you. All right, I want that little piece, and I want to get a piece that's bigger. Let's see. So I think it's best that I just open up a new package of this so I can find that piece that I use for this card. And I'm trying to cover that for the glare. This is here. We'll put that up there. All right, so this was another variation. And my mom, she's like, why didn't you put the berries on the tree? And I'm like, trying to pull them off the card. And I was like, duh, why didn't I put the berries on the tree? So I did that for a different card. Anyway, I ended up with this one because what happened is I had already given you all the Lost Lagoon that was in the vertical format. And I'm like, now I have to design a vertical card instead of horizontal card. So anyway, I'm going to show you the Lost Lagoon paper as I search for the piece that we're going to use, or the pieces. Okay, I'm looking for the lot. This one will be cute, really cool too. All right, let's do that. Yeah, let's maybe try that as well. I mean, you could see it. I mean, I'm not going to do it right now because it takes so long to cut out the tree. But I think that's the piece I want to do. But I think for your second card, you could use this piece here, or you could just, you can cut 2 trees on this one piece of paper. All right, and I already have this other piece already ready. So there we go. So we're going to take the stamp, which is already mounted. And I tried to do this sort of off stamping thing where I stamped it off onto the paper and it came out too dark. So instead, what I did is this little technique of just kind of blotting off the extra. And it seemed to work pretty well for this. So I'm gonna stamp the tree, and it comes out too dark if you stamp it right on the paper. I'm using Lost Lagoon ink. So I'm using tone on tone stamping. And then I just sort of blotted, right? Like that. And then I just sort of wiped it off a little. Like maybe blot it off, wipe it off a little, get little stripes. Gives you little stripes in there. But that way it's not so dark. That one has a little bit of little speck in there. Okay? So then I'm going to stamp right onto this paper. And do this. Oh, you want to see the Halloween cards we made last night? Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you guys for joining me on that spontaneous craft adventure last night. Okay, so that came out better because it's not as dark as just stamping straight onto it. Okay, we'll do that again so we can make 2 trees. So you can make 2 trees from the paper. You're just going to turn it upside down like that, right? And then just sort of blot this off. You can either blot or you can just sort of wipe it off, but I'm going to just blot it off so this one's a little bit lighter. Okay. All right, so that's pretty cool, right? And we already have a textured tree. So that's the big tree. Oh, by the way, this is this month's, you guys voted for this. This is this month's card club. So I took the big tree. Now we're going to take the inside tree, and we're going to do that again for some more texture. For the little the pine needles, right? I'm going to put this one over there. So we did the big tree, and now we're going to do, this is just 2-step stamping. Lots of techniques. 2-step stamping, blotting, tone on tone. There's lots of techniques. Tone on tone means that you're taking the color of ink, which is Lost Lagoon. Isn't that cool? And you're putting it on top of something that's Lost Lagoon. So that's why we call it tone on tone. We're putting the same tone of color onto the same tone of paper. Okay, that's one technique we did. Blotting is just blotting off the excess ink. That's what we were doing earlier. Let's see. The other technique we did was, we did 2-step stamping, blotting, and, 2-step stamping, blotting, and tone on tone stamping. All right, I'm liking the lighter tree better, so that's the one I'm going to cut. But do get yourself an extra tree. I have a better pair of scissors. Let's find a better pair. Paper snips are really good. Now, instead of moving your, oh, by the way, if you have the dies, go for it, right? Use your dies. I am not using dies because the reason is well, I don't think I even have the dies. Okay, but that's the first reason. But even if I had the dies, I try to make this card club all about like just a stamp set that you don't need dies for. So I want to show you how to do this without dies. Plus the dies, because it's been a while, are not bundled up. I don't think you get the 10% off. Correct me if I'm wrong, demos, but I think these dies are older. And you only get the 10% off when you first, when something first comes out in a catalog. You buy the die bundle with the stamp. Okay, so anyway, the better way to do it is like this. So instead of trimming something, you can turn the paper. I find it easier to sort of turn the paper like this, like keep my scissors cutting, but then turn my paper. Now, I don't typically like to fuzzy cut, but this is one that even the scan and cut wouldn't do a good job on without connecting all these gaps. It would cut out many separate pieces. So it's just, I think this one, instead of doing anything to it, it's just easier with scissors or dies. And I'm keeping a little margin on it because there's a margin sort of in the middle. And I'll show you one I did where there's no margin and I overlapped the leaves. But I think I like the one with the margins better. I think I like this little gap in them. All right, so hello, Debbie. Salinas, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I'm going to just... All right, so while I'm doing this, I can't show you the Halloween cards while I'm doing this, but I can kind of look at who's here, and that I can say hello at least. I can look at the comments. So hello, Kelly Stoller. Nice to see you. I had some late night crafters with me yesterday making Halloween cards. That was so fun. I'll show all the Halloween cards, and I even finished one. I added a little monster to it from one of my older sets. The one that has like the bag die. I forget what it's called because I already had the monsters in my bucket of crafty goodness, and the monster's already cut out. So as soon as I put down my scissors, I will show you guys my Halloween cards before I finish making the rest of this card. Because I love Halloween. And I'm trying to get this little curve. You know, that's why I'm turning the paper and not the scissors. Doing that gives me a little curve on these little corners. A little rounded edge. All right, yay, for our tree is done. Woohoo, our tree is done. All right, so we have Phil Ham here in the house. Nice to see you. And Lynn McFarden. Nice to see you. Bonnie Blake. Karen Fentress. My regulars are here. And those of you that are in my card club too. Laura Steiner got this month's club. Some of you have it. Some of you are going to get it soon. Just waited on some supplies which just arrived. And you saw me unbox them all weekend long. So we're going to take, let's take some twine. So you're going to take your linen thread. My mom does all this for you. She gave you half a yard of this really cool, whatever that's called. Very vanilla something something. Here, I have it on here. Large check ribbon. Black and very vanilla large check ribbon. And then you got a yard of the linen thread. And I'm just trying to get to it. Boy, she used a lot of tape on there. She can't see very well. So it's, for her to do this is like very much harder than us doing it. But she really is a great help to me making all these little things for you. So that you can have lots of samples, you know? And so you're going to use this twine. Once I untie it, I'm just untying one of hers. I have a roll of it somewhere. But we're just going to use it off of here. Okay, so we're going to tie a little ribbon around the Merriest tree. All right, so to get the little kinks out of it, because it's on the little bobbin, right? This is called a bobbin. And you get the kinks out of it just by using the heat from your hand. And then go ahead and tie the ribbon around it in the middle of the tree. So cut some off. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to see how much I need here. Just kind of eyeball it, right? Basically, you have enough for a couple trees. Let's put it that way. I mean, a couple bows. More than enough. In fact, I shouldn't have cut off so much, but it's all good. This is meant to be a little sample, and you can use other things that you have. You know what would look cute, too, is there's other kind called Baker's Twine Essentials, and you could, like, double it with two different colors. Okay, so there's your little bow. And then flip the bow around. Now on the back, you're going to pop this up with dimensionals. So you're going to just take some dimensionals and put them behind there to make that a little tighter so that that bow doesn't slip around. And we can cut off the little ends here. And we can put some more dimensionals on it. I always use the sides of the dimensionals. I mean, don't let them go to waste. All right, got carried away. Had to put that on, and now I can show you the Halloween cards. Got to also wipe my hands on my shirt, but after I said I had a couple more. So we have Brooke is in the house from Plant City, Florida. Hello, Brooke. The Crafty Corner with Katrina. Thank you for subscribing and being a newest subscriber. That's awesome. We're over 40,000 now, and after that I stopped keeping track, but thank you for joining this fun group. And Deborah from New South Wales, Australia, I said hi to you earlier when you popped up when I was looking. All right. Hard to keep. Yeah, I'm hard to keep track of. That's because I try to do mostly my lives on weekends, but you never know. All right, there we go. So yesterday, I'm going to stop for a second and show you Halloween cards, even though we're in the middle of a Christmas card tutorial, because these are just so fun. So if you stayed up late, we have these new scrapbooking materials, and I used the scrapbooking like sticker sheet to make all these Halloween cards, and I used this new designer series paper called Halloween Spells or Spell, and then I used some of this new two-tone cardstock. Hello, Michelle Bruner. Nice to see you. Thank you, Lynn, for reminding everybody about the thumbs up. Hello, Deborah, Lishki, Elaine. Nice to see you. All right, so these were just like ones, and I added like a Wink Castell on them. Just ones I came up with using that paper and a technique of sanding the two-tone cardstock. So this one I crumbled up and then sanded it, and with this little buffer block. And then this one I sanded, I embossed I used an embossing folder called the Forever 3D Plaid embossing folder and sanded it to get that background. So these are just scrapbooking stickers, and you probably saw them, so definitely check that out. Yeah, weekends are best for me because I'm going, I'm during the week I'm working, so you're probably not going to see another card club tutorial until next weekend, or maybe the weekend after. I mean, who knows when. I'm not going to get them all done in this third week or this week. So there's going to be a big gap between these tutorials, but that's because I could do most of mine on weekends. How do I organize my scraps? Are you talking to me? Deborah, are you talking to me? If you're talking to me, how I organize my scraps is like buckets of crafty goodness. Like I have one for this set. I mean, Christmas buckets of crafty goodness. I have all these, like, the way I organize scraps is the same way I organize die cuts. Like these are die cutting and scraps, see? So like you just get little boxes. Just organize them with little boxes. If you were talking to me. And I also have a big basket of bigger scraps. DSP scraps. Get yourself a lot of bags. That's how you organize them, with bags. Put everything back into little bags. So like this one. This was my scraps from this one. I just put them back in little bags. Back in the bags they came in. I mean, just basically get yourself if you want to use my link to the bags on my website, on my Amazon store, then check that out. So this was also using one of the stickers and the designer series paper. And then this one here. Oh, the boxes, everywhere. Where do I get the boxes? Let's see. Dollar General, Dollar Tree, that kind of place. Hobby Lobby. This is the one I added the monster to. So I made this card since yesterday. This is a new card. And then also this weekend we did this card. This is part of the Greetings of the Season workshop series. So if you missed that, this series is going on for a couple months. So you have a chance to do a lot of cards with this series. So anyway, these were this weekend's tutorials. They're all right here on my channel. Anyway, back to this card. So now we have this little piece we have a Lost Lagoon card base. I'm just grabbing that out. I'm not making you make the card base. I'll give you the measurements for it. So we have yikes. We have that's the side we're putting the DSP on. We have a Lost Lagoon card base, and then we have the extra little layer of, let's see. I don't want to use this one because I have something else in mind for that one. I'm looking for the one with the little clouds. This is going to be definitely a really cool one to use. Okay, this would be good for the background. But I don't think that's the one I used. I'm just trying to find the one I used. Here it is. This looks like the one. No, maybe that. Anyway, use that one for sure because that's a good one. It has like a sky bluish look on the top. There we go. It's this piece here. Now, it doesn't matter if you use a different piece because you're going to have to use a different piece anyway for your cards because you're going to have different cards, right? So there's only one of each piece of paper. So you're going to do this 4 by 5 1/4, right? That's your measurements, 4 by 5 1/4, and I'll write them down for you. I don't want to put my trimmer down because my thing is stuck right now. My Christmas tree will get stuck on there. My holiday tree, my Christmas tree. All right, there you go. So that's that's what's going to go right there. These are all just like a non-traditional Christmas kind of card here. And then this one's going to be 3 by 4 1/4. All right, now let me see. I just saw a really cool piece of pretty peacock. That might be really nice too. This would make a really nice little like outer border. So I think I might mat this one just to give you some little extra oomph. So let's go ahead and mat this one. We'll make this one 3. I just decided this on the fly. So we're modifying my tutorial. We're just going to make, this is going to be the 3 by 4 1/4. And then the other one I'll make a smidgen smaller. So this one's going to be 3 or 2 3/4 by 4. All right, and then I have to get the measurements out of my head before I go on. Yep, and then we'll put one of these over the top. Or more than one. Let's see. Okay, so one of these is going to go across the middle. All right, let's write this down before I forget what I just did. So we have the card itself that is going to be 11" by 4 1/4. And you're going to score the card at 5 1/2. So that's how you get your card. Okay, so we have a card, Lost Lagoon. Okay, and this is called your card base. And I call it a vertical card because it's going to stand up like so. Okay, let me clear off. As much as I try not to make this stick onto everything, never take the back of your dimensionals off until you're ready, because then they stick on everything. All right, now, next is going to be layer 1, and that is going to be your 5 1/4 times 4. And then we have layer 2, which I just decided last minute to make a layer 2, and we're gonna to make 3 layers, layer 3. Actually, we have 4 layers. So this one's going to be 4 1/4 by 3, and this one's going to be 2 3/4. Hope you can see that. 2 3/4 by 4. All right, we can go ahead and mount these together to each other while you're writing that. And then there's going to be another layer as well. I just saw that pretty peacock. Normally I didn't really find anything before that would be a good, what's the word? A good contrasting background. And once I saw that, I was like, oh, that one's a perfect background color. Okay, and then we'll do this, and then we're going to add one of my colors of shimmer paper. So Thoughtful Journey is not just for like your desert, nature type of card. Your Thoughtful Journey can be used for anything because you have such cool watercolor backgrounds. I'm trying to get that. I got to wipe this off my shirt or something. All right, now let's see. Well, this is going to be the background. This is going to be on this background, so we'll put it on there. And I think I'm going to go with the gold I think I would go with my original gold for the contrast because, you know, these are not going to contrast as much. So we'll go for the gold. And for this one, I'm going to put I'm going to use the ledge of my trimmer. How about that? This one I'm going to use the Seal Plus adhesive and the edge of my trimmer so that I can have a little straight edge to put this on like that. You always use the little ledge. And this is going to be layer 4. Layer 4, fine shimmer paper. Fine shimmer paper. Okay. All right, cool. So we'll be making cards all month long, and I think I'm going to modify even some of my own designs because as you see, I modified this on the fly. That one, let's get rid of that scrap. All right, so we have the Lost Lagoon, and then we have layer 4. That is like same 4 inches across. It's the same 4 inches wide. And it's only 1 inch high. So hopefully you can see all that. These three are Thoughtful Journey. Thoughtful Journey. DSP. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead before we do our embellishments, which are rhinestones and our stamping. We're going to stamp the sentiment. Before we do that, we need to put this, attach this, right? So that, because you don't want to attach it while this is on it, because it could get wonky. So we'll attach it now. I really love how fresh freesia goes so well with the pretty peacock and the Lost Lagoon. They just, all the colors are so beautifully coordinated. Okay, so now you're going to take out your die cut pieces that are in your bag. Not that bag. Take them out of this bag inside of your Card on Blue Card Club kit. I'll take them out of my extras bag, and I'll probably go ahead and do 2 of them just to, you know, just in case, right? Make 2. Always make 2. And I'm going to go ahead and write the ink colors here. The ink is going to be Lost Lagoon. I need to, I did it vertical today, so, and Pretty Peacock. Oops, and Fresh Freesia. So we'll put fresh freesia. I gotta squeeze that in there. All right, so that's your whole card. If you want to take a screenshot of that, I'm going to put the card right there so you can see it. Okay? Well, I'm go ahead and do that. And then I need to move this paper because I need to use my Stampin', my spot, my area. And Janet, who, let's see if she's here yet, she always writes the measurements for me, which I love. She's on my team. Hello, Diana Trout. Nice to see you. Oh, yeah, Lynn uses those big ones from. Thank you. Denise, you can become a Patreon supporter by just looking in the link of the video to my channel. It's actually right on my channel cover. So go to like youtube.com and then you do @PaperedChef. Just search for me with the @ symbol Papered Chef, and then that's the front of my channel. And that's where you find out how to become a Patreon supporter. Anyway, I'm putting the tree on here before it gets stuck on anything else. Putting it right down here, okay? Okay, so without even like doing this sentiment, I already like that card better. I don't know what you guys think, like A or B, but like this one is gonna be like, I like it better with that little border, and I might even move. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that up there. Yeah, I'll still keep that up there and only see part of the border, right? I'm gonna cover up the corner, but I still like it better with the little pretty peacock border. All right, Spirit of the Season. So we're gonna ink up first with the blends, and I just go right onto my mat here. So Lost Lagoon, right? And Fresh Freesia. Okay, so open your Fresh Freesia. And you're gonna take your blending brushes and just some ink. We'll just put some on an stamping block like that. Put some on your blending brush, and then I like to use my glass mat. So always take a little bit and blob it off. This one still came out kind of dark. But, wow, that's really dark. Which is all good. We'll just... Okay. I'm just going to make sure I got the big blob off of there. A little better. And it's okay, though. I like it. That one I like better. This one is like double vision. I got double vision. Something happened to the corner of that die. Only because it's like so much ink on it. I think it's just the amount of ink. That's a little better. All right, so something like that. And now we're going to take some ink from this one. And we can go ahead and close. We're done with the Lost Lagoon ink. And we can do some with the Fresh Freesia. So tap, tap, tap with your... Use a different blending brush, right? Put a blob over there. And then you're just going to do like the two-tone. Okay. That looks good. Tap, tap, tap. Blob, blob, blob. And then just get in there All right, and this one I think I'm actually going to go for it. I actually like it. It's double vision, but it's like, hey, it's dark, so I'll make the bottom dark too. So if the top of if you're trying to do a two-tone inking, right, and one side's too dark, you just make the other side dark, like, oh, it was supposed to look like that kind of thing, right? So like that. And now we're done with that. So now we're going to get rid of the fresh freezer and get out the pretty peacock. This is what we're going to stamp with because it coordinates, right? And just go ahead and stamp. Let me get a little bit of, I'm just getting an alcohol wipe to clean up this mess here. Because I need this, well, I don't need the stamping block necessarily. I have other stamping blocks, but I do need this area to not get ink all over it because I'm going to be showing you the other cards and I don't want them to get ink all over them. All right, so put that over there. And where was I? Wiping my hand on my clothes. Oh, I already had, actually, I didn't need to do all that cleaning. I already had it mounted over here. All right, so it says, hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. So always stamp it off on your paper before you stamp it off on your actual die cuts because the die cuts are already made and like it's you don't want to see, oh, came out nice. I love it when it comes out nice. The die cuts are already made, so you don't want to like have to, and I like to have the die cuts made. This was from it's like Something Fancy, I believe. I think they're called Something Fancy dies. Anywho, if you have your bunch of dies in your bucket of crafty goodness and they're already ready to go, then you can like ink them up and do your thing and have them all ready to go. Let's get these ready to wash. All right, now we're going to get out the dimensionals again. Just making sure there's nothing on there. And, okay, which one do I like best? That one's the double one. This one, I'm kind of liking the darker one better, though, even though it is a lot darker. I'm gonna go for this double one because it's darker. You can actually see it better. That one, I think it needs a little bit more fresh freezer on the bottom of it. You know, it looked like it was all going on there. Dark, and then how come there's like a crumb under here? It's like I'm not even eating any candy right now, and it looks, I think I was eating a cookie earlier, but I don't think that's a crumb. Just a piece of dirt from my craft frame. All right, got that out. Get out of here. And then I'm just going to, so for this one, I'm going to space it so that it's overlapping the frame, but it's the equal amount of space here as there is here. That's just a design thing. And then the little tip of the tree is going to cover it a little, like overlap it a little bit. And then we add our rhinestones. All right. Hello, Frida. Nice to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up, Bonnie and Lynn. All right, thank you. Leslie from Outback Stamping loves the color combo. Yeah, that's what I was going for this month. It's just something different. And I even tried some snowflakes. I'll show you how they look like on the sky on the other card. Okay, here. So now we're going to add some rhinestones. So you could just take your, well, I would normally just do it with my hands, honestly, but I'm just going to try to use my take your pick tool. Just to try to use it here. Because my hands are so much, there's like glue all over my hands and stuff. I'm going to put one little rhinestone there, one inside the shimmer paper, and one down here. Inside here. We'll put one right inside this little part. Be gone! Get off me! Get off me! I could put it down there where I put the other one. Okay, I'll put it down there. So 3 or 5, you know, just some kind of odd number. And that is your holiday card. Easy peasy. I'm going to show you what other little touch you can do to it, which is, of course, your wink of Stella. So that's just a way to, I did a lot on this one, but you can kind of see how it looks like with the glitter on it. So you could just take your wink of Stella. Oh, and on that one, it looks like I tied it up higher. Did I tie it up higher? 1, 2, maybe not. Maybe they're, oh, you know what? This card is a that's because it's just the way it looks on the card. I did a vertical card. All right, so Wink of Stella, I'm just adding it to all the little sections just from glitter for texture, right? All right, so this one I could put, it looks like the glitter came out a lot more when I was doing it there. I think I squeezed it is what happened. So I like it sort of, you know, with a little bit less glitter, because when you squeeze it, you'll see it just comes out like gusto. Watch it like nothing, nothing, nothing. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I got glitter. See? But I mean, if you're going to do that, then you might want to do these little edges like so. When it starts coming out all over the place, just sort of go around your edges. Because it just comes out like all over. Like a fire hose of glitter, which is not a bad thing. So this is just extra things you can do to your card. And you can also do 2 trees and then put one halfway behind the other tree. But I would put one up with dimensionals, right? And then put the other tree like stuck on the back of the card. That's how I would do it. Let me just get rid of this glitter. All right, so I want to show you just real quick what I have for the other cards for this month. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep them like this. Actually, there's one that I'm not quite happy with yet. So this is the first card we did, and I originally designed this with this was my original design. I used Misty Moonlight, forgetting that I had reserved this for the other package of paper for you. So there's another package of paper called, where we're going to be using this kind of color scheme. This is some crazy color schemes this month, guys. But this is called Iconic Celebrations. Hold on, I have it right here. But anyway, I gave you some of that paper. And yeah, Iconic Celebrations. And in that paper, I was like, oh, I was using Misty Moonlight for that. So then I designed the card after I'd already packaged up all these for the other package. So anyway, this was my original design. So just do this if you want to do it. Take your Misty Moonlight I sent you, and if you want to do this, make this card instead. Same, similar measurements, similar meaning this is long. And then, of course, put the berries on the tree instead of, like my mom said, put them on the tree. So then after using her advice, I made this one where I put the berries on the tree. All right, so then this is the other one we're making. And this is what I wasn't sure about. I'm not sure about the snow part. You guys can tell me whether you like do you like the little stars? I'm not sure about that part. But I do like the design. I really like this piece of paper with the one that has these trees on it. I think that looks like really cool for holidays. So I took a piece, like a 3-inch piece, so you can make 2 of it. And then this really cool die cut shape that's in your kit. The little trees that you can stamp onto. So you do like the stars? Okay, cool. Okay, the stars or snow, whatever you call it. Okay, Phil's saying she likes it. We'll see what we get 2 out of 3. If we get 2 out of 3, that yes or no for the stars. And other than that, that's what we're doing for that card. Okay, yes, stars. Okay, I wasn't sure because I was like, it doesn't really look like snow, but it looks like stars. So this star is one of the little things in your stamp set. It was just a fun way of just sticking them all over the background. See? This little thing. So and then this one is that cute little glitter. All right, cool. And then the other thing I wasn't sure about this card is I think I want to weave this part through underneath here. Not over the top of the trees, but I want to weave this little piece under, right? So that it's under the Fresh Freesia. And the Fresh Freesia, I didn't give you the Fresh Freesia cardstock. You're going to use a different layer like we did today for like a matting from the card itself. All right, now then I did something with, so that's the first card. Then I did this one with Iconic Celebrations. And we have a lot of cool tree background, and then I put a tree on top. And that's just, we're going to try it with basic white too. But I did it with very vanilla, just to kind of see how it looks. And then this is one of those shapes that's in your kit. I just punched out that shape for you. Using this little really cool oval punch. Okay, so that's in there for you. So we'll put, we wish you a Merry Christmas. And then we have, that's what I did with the ribbon. And that's what I did with the festive glimmer paper. Okay, that's new festive glimmer paper. But no 2 cards will be alike. And then I took my mom's suggestion. Like, she's like, why didn't you put the berries on the tree? And I'm like, duh. So then I cut up the berries. I put them on the tree because some of them have little groups of 3. And just so you'd have enough berries, I put like 5 on the tree. So that's what this one. And this one I'm not sure about because my tree came out stumpy. So my idea was, I like the tall tree better because my idea was to cut all these pieces out and layer them together and make like a 3D tree with like layered pieces. And well, it came out dark when I stamped it in like Old Olive or Mossy Meadow, whichever, which is fine. But then it was more just like I like these gaps in the tree. So I'm probably going to do this card, but with this tree. And we're going to do 2 different designs of it. This is Cajun Craze card. So it's a different color scheme again. All this month I'm trying different color schemes. So love and joy to you and yours. I'm trying, and this one needs some bling on it. But I'm probably going to redesign this card. I might use some ribbon, different. I might use something different. Not the color scheme. I'm saying I might do the tree differently. All right, so that's what I have going on for you this month. We'll definitely make this card, some variation of this card, and then not sure what the 4th card will be with the iconic celebrations. All right, so thank you all for watching. All right, thank you, Tracy. She loved the blotting idea. You like the Cajun Craze and Old Olive together? Which one's that? Yeah, this is Cajun Craze and Old Olive ink. I'd use Old Olive ink because something happened in my Mossy Meadow ink. But yeah, the reason it looks so dark though is because I stamped it on very vanilla instead of white. That's why it looks like that. But I'm messing with it. I'm experimenting. But I'm glad you like the color combination. I just figure I use the paper to give me color ideas. I use the actual papers themselves to give me an idea of what color cardstock to use. So first each month I pick your paper, and then I pick the cardstock, then I make the card bases, and then I design the cards. So like I do it in that order so that I make sure I'm designing with exactly what I sent you in your kits. So that's why we have an extra card. That's what this one was, an extra card. All right. That's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening. If you'd like a catalog, just go ahead to my website here and request one using the contact form. We'll send you a complimentary new holiday catalog, which just started this month in December. And you can find this digitally. Just download it now at my Stampin' Up! Store. If you want to get some of the Halloween supplies like that I showed you earlier, then you need not just the Halloween spells paper, but you want the sticker sheet as well. So it's like $17 or some combination of like a sticker sheet and Halloween paper. I don't remember the product number, but look on my website and you'll find that information. All right. Catch you later. Thank you for staying up and crafting with me. I love you guys.